Chapter 61 Elemental Academy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Then several deans continued to communicate about the college's founding ceremony, including some personnel reception matters. Xiaofei and the other 7 people began to get to know each other, mainly the 2 young men from the Pei clan and the Yue clan, Niu Meng, 23 years old, a level 45 defensive battle spirit master, with a martial spirit of plate armor giant rhinoceros. Niu Meng is nearly 2 meters tall, and is quite sturdy and strong. It seems that he has been beaten for many years and has outstanding defense. Yang Pejuan, 22 years old, a level 46 strong attack battle spirit master, with a martial spirit of soul-breaking spear. Yang Pejuan is about 1.8 meters tall and has a firm face. Perhaps due to long-term practice of soul-breaking spear, Yang Pejuan has full attack power and a sharp sense. The 2 are the youngest geniuses of the Pei clan and the Yue clan of this generation, and Yang Pejuan is the grandson of Yang Wudi, while Niu Meng is the grandson of Niu Gao. Both of them inherited their grandfather's martial spirit and strength, and are also the young patriarchs of the 2 clans. In terms of strength, the 2 of them can barely be considered as little geniuses. You know that the Soul Master competition gathers all the talents under the age of 25 in the entire Douluo Continent. According to the rules, each team basically has 1 to 2 Soul Masters. The negative example is Feng Xiaotian, who has full soul power innately and is only level 44 at the age of 24. The talents of these 2 people are actually not inferior to Feng Xiaotian. No matter who it is, they always have to complain about Feng Xiaotian's waste of talent. 2 days later, the opening ceremony of the Element Academy was officially held. In the center of the Element Academy is a huge platform with 5 seats in the center, representing the logos of the 5 departments of the Academy. There are many seats on both sides of the platform for management personnel. In the front row on the left side of the platform sat Ning Fengji, Jian Douluo, Ning Rongrong and Prince Xueqinghe of the 7 Treasures Glazed sect. Behind them were personnel from various forces, including the deans or leaders of various academies in the Tiandou Empire. The establishment of the Element Academy made the other academies feel very stressed, but in any case, they were considered colleagues and still had to help. Although the colleges compete for students, they also have various exchanges and competitions from time to time, and the relationship between them is very good. Ning Fengji looks more haggard than before, obviously affected by the loss of the sect. The right arm of Jian Douluo next to him was cut off, but Xiaofei felt that his momentum seemed to be stronger than before. Is the 97 level title Douluo so much stronger than the 96 level? Prince Xueqinghe still has a normal smile, and it seems that there is no change. Ning Rongrong is no longer the little witch in the past. To Xiaofei's surprise, the golden iron triangle also came. Flanders, Lu Erlong and Yu Xiaogang sat in the second row behind Ning Fengji. Yu Xiaogang was obviously much more haggard, and his face became more and more unkempt. His eyes seemed to be full of indignation, hatred, helplessness, and madness. Lu Erlong looked angrily at the 2 title douluos opposite, Zhu Gui, and seemed to want to eat them alive. Flanders still felt a little calm. Sitting at the front right of the platform were Zhu Douluo, Ghost Douluo, the 3 members of the Golden Generation of the Spirit Hall, and the leader of the Elephant Armor sect, Hu Yanjun. In terms of strength and status, they were higher than the others. Zhu Douluo and Ghost Douluo looked indifferent, while the 3 members of the Golden Generation of the Spirit Hall were full of fighting spirit, as if they wanted to challenge Wang Xiaofei and others again. The leader of the Elephant Armor sect, Hu Yanjun, had a dark face throughout the whole process. Although they were both defensive, Hu Yanjun seemed to have a higher defense than Niu Gao, and his research on the earth element was also stronger. What's more, the Elephant Armor Academy was originally one of the 5 Element Academies. Now that the Element Academy was established, it actually kicked out its own Elephant Armor Academy. Therefore, Hu Yanjun had a dark face throughout the whole process, but it was difficult to get angry. Xiaofei thought it was a bit strange. According to the plot of the original work, shouldn't Zhu Douluo, Ghost Douluo, Hu Liena and others be on the way to hunt Xiao Wu? I don't know how Xiao Wu is now. In addition, Hu Liena actually came out of the slaughter city. Did Tang San come out too? Did Hu Laina and Tang Sen obtain the killing god domain? When he came out of the Slaughter City, the King of Slaughter sacrificed most of the members of the Slaughter City in order to open the Hell Road. Logically, there were not so many people to arrange for Hu Laina and Tang Sen to continue to challenge. Hu Laina and Tang Sen want to obtain the God of Slaughter domain, at least 5 years or more, otherwise even the Hell Road cannot be opened. Hu Laina looked at Wang Xiaofei, her eyes seemed full of fighting spirit. Below the platform are 5 independent blocks, each block has a unified costume, but the costumes of each block are different. They are the Fiery Red Blazing Fire Department, the Sky Blue Sky Water Department, the Cyan God Wind Department, the Khaki Sioux Earth Department, and the Black Gung Gold Department. The Sioux Earth and Gung Gold departments have not yet started to recruit students, so the number of people is relatively small, only the children of the Pai clan and the Yui clan, while the Blazing Fire, Sky Water, and God Wind each have hundreds of students. The 5 departments have nearly 2,000 teachers and students in total. Seeing so many teachers and students, the eyes of the people in the audience were a little twitchy. Although many of them were students, those who were still in the academy were basically the key students of the academy or those who cared about the academy. The overall strength was probably not weaker than the 3 major sections. The host of the opening ceremony was a beautiful girl from Qinshui. Thank you all for coming to participate in the founding ceremony of the Element Academy. Now, please invite our Dean Hua Tianchen, Vice Dean Feng Xian, Vice Dean Lu Ruyan, Vice Dean Yo Gao and Vice Dean Yang Wudi to the stage. That the venue suddenly became quiet, and 5 shadows flashed to the center of the high platform. Hua Tianchen, Feng Xian, Lu Ruyan, Yo Gao, and Yang Wudi sat in the seats belonging to their own departments. Dean Hua Tianchen spoke first. Friends in the Soul Master world, after consultation among the 5 deans, we have decided to establish the Element Academy. The purpose of the Element Academy is to teach and educate people. We will not participate in any power struggles, nor will we restrict students' backgrounds and their development after graduation. As long as they meet the admission standards of the Academy, they can enroll. But any teacher or student who enters our Element Academy must comply with the Academy rules of our Element Academy. After speaking, the 5 people exerted force on the boulder behind them at the same time. The red cloth on the boulder was exposed, and the Academy rules were engraved in large characters on the surface, which even ordinary people could see clearly. Although the handwriting was not very beautiful, every stroke was like a work of magic, deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. The Soul Masters present even felt a murderous intent, which showed that the Academy rules of the Element Academy were strict. Even Jian Douluo Xian nodded after reading it. Good murderous intent, good words. It should be engraved by Yang Wudi using the soul-breaking spear. Next, the vice deans introduced some of their own teaching policies and student recruitment conditions. Originally, Zhu Douluo wanted to lead the golden generation of the Spirit Hall to challenge the Elemental Academy, but when he saw the soul power of Wang Xiaofei and Hu Wu, he decisively gave up the idea of this challenge. Chapter 62 Guests from All Parties. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As the 5 deans displayed a huge sign of the Element Academy in front of everyone, the opening ceremony of the Element Academy ended. Next was the recruitment of new students. 5 small recruitment venues appeared under the high platform. All students who came for the interview first had their martial soul's elemental attributes and soul power levels tested uniformly. Then they were taken to the departments for internal tests. After several rounds of interviews, if they were successful, they would be given school uniforms and school rules and regulations, introduced some admission procedures, etc., and then taken to their respective dormitories. In short, the whole process highlighted one sentence: as long as they meet the admission rules, everyone will be accepted. It also emphasized that the school's internal rules are strict. The spectators couldn't help shaking their heads when they saw the enrollment of the Element Academy. I'm afraid that this time the Element Academy will recruit many good seedlings, and the Element Academy will be even stronger. Next, the dean led everyone to receive guests from all parties. First of all, the reception was naturally the 3 people from the Spirit Hall, Zhu Douluo, Ghost Douluo, and the Golden Generation. The 3 people from the Spirit Hall's Golden Generation have all broken through to the Soul Emperor level. Compared with Qin Ming, who is known as the second youngest soul master to break through the Soul Emperor in history, the three are much faster. Douluo looked at Yang Wudi and Niu Gao and said, I didn't expect that you two remnants of the Haotian sect would actually join the Elemental Academy. It's quite interesting. Yang Wudi snorted coldly, our two clans have long withdrawn from the Haotian sect. Now we have drawn a clear line with the Haotian sect and will no longer have any contact with the people of the Haotian sect. Douluo nodded, I hope so, otherwise you will bring the entire Elemental Academy into the abyss. Yang Wudi and Niu Gao felt that this was a strong warning, but because of their relationship with the Haotian sect, they didn't care about Douluo's warning at all. Douluo's eyes suddenly lit up, and he quickly flew in front of Xiaofei and the other two. Dean Hua and others were about to intercept him, but Douluo raised his hand, with my seniority and strength, I will naturally not embarrass the three children. I just want to take a look. Douluo smelled Wang Xiaofei, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang, and kept tapping his fingers a few times, with an intoxicated look on his face. It's this kind of breath, it's really fascinating. Especially when he smelled the breath on Huo Wu, he even half knelt down. If I guess correctly, you should have eaten the fairy herbs of Qirong Tong Tianju, Jiupin Longji and Xiangxi Dun Changhong respectively. No wonder the three of you can reach the soul saint level at such a young age, they are indeed fairy herbs. And judging from your condition, you should have completely absorbed the fairy herbs. Everyone present felt confused, only Hua Tianchen and Yang Wudi were shocked. Hua Tianchen was shocked. Fairy herbs, the three of them have been taking them for more than 5 years, and Douluo can actually smell it? What kind of nose? Yang Wudi has never seen any fresh fairy herbs in his life of pursuing medicine, but he didn't expect that these three juniors have actually taken fairy herbs. Douluo suddenly said solemnly, Wang Xiaofei, Huo Wu, Huo Wushuang, I am willing to accept you three as my disciples, what do you think? The three of them saluted and said, Thank you for your appreciation, Senior Douluo, but we are all students of the Element Academy and have no intention of accepting you as our disciples for the time being. Douluo looked disappointed, and then said, I will be in the Element Academy in the next few days, and I will visit you three children separately. At this time, Hulaina walked towards Wang Xiaofei. Wang Xiaofei, you should be the Phoenix Slayer. I didn't expect to meet you again so soon. I want to challenge you. Xiaofei shook his head and said lightly, I am already a soul saint. The three people of the golden generation were shocked. Douluo left the three people reluctantly, walked towards Dean Hua Tianchen, and then said seriously, I hope you will just run the academy and don't get involved in other things. Do you understand? The 5 principals of the Element Academy nodded. Now the 5 people have some foundation and will not go against the Spirit Hall headlessly. As soon as the 5 people from the Spirit Hall left, Ning Fengji, Ning Rongrong, Jian Douluo from the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect, and Xue Qinghe, the Crown Prince of the Tiandou Empire, arrived. This time, Ning Fengji did not mention the topic of alliance. Now, anyone who is not a fool knows the attitude of the Element Academy. You can fight however you want, as long as it does not involve me. The two sides had a good conversation. Ning Fengji expressed that he hoped that some disciples of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect could go to the Element Academy to study, and Xue Qinghe also hoped that some royal children could come to the Element Academy to study. In this regard, several deans said that they would not refuse anyone, as long as they met the admission standards of the Element Academy, they could all be admitted. However, the rules of the Academy are strict and everyone needs to abide by the rules of the Academy. Xue Qinghe, on behalf of Emperor Shuiyi, conferred the title of Duke to the 5 deans, but the 5 declined. Finally, Xue Qinghe invited the Element Academy to go to Tiandou City. Hua Tianchen thought about it carefully. The Element Academy is located in the territory of the Tiandou Empire and it is not appropriate to offend too much, so he said that he would visit the Tiandou Royal Academy in the near future. Not mentioning the visit to Emperor Shuiyi, this also shows the attitude of the Element Academy. Exchanges between the academies are fine, but they will never join in the power struggle. The 4 of them left the dean's reception room with regret. After returning to the accommodation arranged by the Element Academy, Ning Rongrong hurriedly asked, Dad, what is the attitude of the Element Academy now? We came here this time to unite with the Element Academy to fight against the Spirit Hall. Why didn't you ask this question? Ning Rongrong was young after all, and her handling and knowledge were far inferior to Ning Fengji, so she asked these questions. Ning Fengji shook his head and said, "The attitude of the Elements Academy has been very clear, that is their school rules. In any case, the Elements Academy will not participate in the struggle between us and Wuhuan Palace, even if the original Peji clan and the Imperial clan has a grudge against Wuhuan Palace and will no longer interfere in our struggle. Wuhuan Palace sent Ju Douluo and Ghost Douluo here today, which is obviously a warning. Uncle Jian, what do you think of Wang Xiaofei, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang? All three of them have reached the Soul Saint level, and their soul power is quite solid. They should be able to break through soon." Sword Douluo said solemnly. Xue Qinghe also looked surprised, and even couldn't help but grit his teeth. Xue Qinghe returned to his room and took a look at his face in the mirror. He had never hated this face as much as he did today. It was obvious that he had level 20 innate soul power and was the best in the world, but he was actually caught up by several children who were much younger than him. Isn't it a joke to have level 20 innate soul power? No, I have to end this life as soon as possible. After Xue Qinghe left, only Ning Fengji, Sword Douluo and Ning Rongrong were left in the room. Sword Douluo said, "Fengji, I think the development of these three children from the Element Academy is very abnormal. There must be some secret. How about I? Uncle Jian, it's too late now. The three children Wang Xiaofei are already at the Soul Saint level, and the three of them are inseparable. If you want to deal with them, unless you or Uncle Gu take action personally. Now the overall strength of the Elements Academy is stronger than ours, we can't make any more enemies, otherwise the Elemental Academy will completely fall to Wuhuan Palace," Ning Fengji said with a serious face. Ning Rongrong on the side was shocked. She and Xiaofei were the same age. But he has just reached the Soul King level and is already considered a rare genius in the history of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, but these guys from the Element Academy are simply monsters. A monster more exaggerated than the Shrek 7 monsters. Chapter 65 Planning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ju Douluo left with a disappointed look on his face. In fact, Xiaofei liked Ju Douluo very much. He was obsessed with flowers and plants all his life. He was probably the only one in the entire continent who could cultivate the plant system into a titled Douluo. Moreover, he is a hardworking person and is a rare real person. Wuhandian's #1 tool man is not a ruthless person, otherwise the grass on Dugyabo's grave would be several feet high. It's a pity that he is too loyal to Wuhuan Palace and there is basically no possibility of winning over him. If there is a strange velvet-toothing chrysanthemum, we can consider using it to win over Chrysanthemum Douluo. Xiaofei is now starting to plan his future. It is estimated that Xiaofei will be able to level up in half a month at most, but it will only be level 75. Even if Xiaofei now has a soul core, his cultivation speed will be faster, and the soul core can also practice independently. If Xiaofei wants to reach level 80, it will probably take him 1 to 1.5 years. It would take at least 5 years for Xiaofei to become a titled Douluo. But 5 years later, the war has begun, and Xiaofei can no longer wait 5 years. As for Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang, they may not be able to catch up with him soon. It will take at least 2.5 years for the two of them to cultivate to the Contra Douluo, and it is estimated that it will take 10 years to cultivate to the title Douluo. This is already a very terrifying cultivation speed. In other words, from a normal step-by-step perspective, Huo Wu can cultivate into a title Douluo at about 33 years old, and Huo Wushuang can train into a title Douluo at about 35 years old. They can both create the record of the youngest title Douluo. But the three most important points of Poseidon Island are Poseidon's Light, Tidal Body Refining and God-Given Soul Ring. These 3 points can greatly improve the physical fitness and soul power of the examiners. The 7 Shrek people in the original book practiced on Poseidon Island for 4 years. During these 4 years, their average soul power increased by nearly 20 levels. Many soul saints are estimated to be promoted by a little more than 1 level a year. For example, Flanders in the original work was promoted from level 78 to level 83 in 5 years, and Zhao Waoqi was promoted from level 76 to level 80. It can be seen that the difficulty of soul power increases after Soul Saint. Don't say that they have poor qualifications, no chance encounters, they can practice Contra, and their innate soul power is at least level 7 or above. However, if you don't have the heart of Poseidon, you might take a black level assessment and be trapped on Poseidon Island for the rest of your life. It is said that in the original work, Poseidon and Shura god helped Tang San a lot, even beyond the rules of the god realm. In the final battle, Tang San could be resurrected by them even if he died. If they turned him into the Poseidon High Priest, he would have to be sacrificed. If Tang San became a god, that would be a lie, but, no matter what, Poseidon Island must go, and how many people are going? Xiaofei, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang must go. Feng Xiaotian, Shui Binger, Niu Meng and Yang Pejuan, should we take them with us? With their current soul power and talents, Feng Xiaotian and Shui Binger should be able to pass the black level assessment, while Niu Meng and Yang Pejuan might be able to pass the purple level or white level assessment. And to go to Poseidon Island, you must be absolutely trustworthy, otherwise you will be cheated by being stabbed in the back. Moreover, the 4 of them are obviously the future heads of their respective families. If they are damaged, it will be difficult to explain to the 4 families. Just when Xiaofei was struggling alone, there was a knock on the door. When he opened the door, he saw that it was the person Xiaofei didn't want to see the most right now, Xueqinghe. Xueqinghe smiled and said, "Classmate Xiaofei, I wonder if you are free now. Can we have a chat alone?" "Of course, Your Highness the Crown Prince." Xiaofei invited Xueqinghe into the dormitory with a wry smile. Due to Xiaofei's strength and status in the original Blazing Academy, Xiaofei's dormitory is directly a whole small house, which is very convenient for both training and life, and it also ensures Xiaofei's personal privacy. After the 2 sat down, they chatted for a while, and Xueqinghe got straight to the point. "Xiaofei, I wonder if you are interested in joining the Tiandou Empire now. As long as you can come to the Tiandou Empire to help me, whether it is to become a knight or to become a king, we can talk about it as a teacher or even as a king. Besides, you are only a student of the Elements Academy after all, and you will not be the heir of the Hua family. If you really like teaching, I can build a bigger academy for you than the Elements Academy." Xiaofei shook his head and said, "I am in the Elements Academy not just because of the Hua family, but also for other reasons. You should know the relationship between me, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang. This kind of friendship means a lot to me. It is more important than fame and wealth. There is also the current enrollment and management system of Elements College. To be honest, the layout, enrollment, school regulations, etc. of Elements College were all originally drafted by me, but Dean Hua did not hesitate at all. Support me, no matter how stressful it is. Also, I am a commoner. I hope that the Elements Academy will be a harbor that all commoners can rely on. It is impossible for the Tiandou Empire to provide me with such an environment." Xiaofei approached Xueqinghe, held Xueqinghe's hand, and even touched it a few times, making Xueqinghe look embarrassed. Xueqinghe calmly withdrew his hand. Xiaofei said with a smile, "Your Highness, for us commoners, shaking hands, putting arms around each other, and even eating, living and sleeping together are very common things. Obviously, His Royal Highness will not be able to adapt to this kind of life, nor will he experience this kind of feeling." Xueqinghe said awkwardly, "I'm just used to being alone, so I'm a little uncomfortable with it." Xiaofei did not continue speaking, but stared at Xueqinghe. Xueqinghe understood that for the empire, the nobility and class system were the foundation, and it was impossible to destroy its foundation for the sake of the common people. "What about Wuhuan Palace? Isn't Wuhuan Palace the environment you want?" Xueqinghe continued to ask. Xiaofei thought for a while and said, "Maybe it was the case in the previous Spirit Hall, but the current Spirit Hall has completely changed. When I was young, I thought Master Su Yuntao of the Spirit Hall was pretty good, but the current Spirit Hall seems to have forgotten its original intention due to its rapid development. If possible, His Royal Highness can arrange for someone to check the Bishop of Gingjin City Spirit Hall." There are many bishops like Gingjin City, and the mistakes they make will become the sins of the spirit hall. An organization with too many sins will hardly succeed. Xueqinghe's face was embarrassed and a little ashamed, and he left Xiaofei's dormitory. Xueqinghe returned to his residence and said to the guard, "Yu Long, you go and check the bishop of Gingjin City yourself, and arrange for someone to check the reputation of our spirit hall personnel among the ordinary people. Remember, all the arranged personnel must be born civilians, absolutely loyal to the spirit hall, and conduct a secret investigation first." After Xueqinghe made the arrangements, he sat alone in the room, thinking back to Xiaofei's actions and words just now, and couldn't help but feel ashamed again. This little bastard, does he like men? But aren't he and Huowu boyfriend and girlfriend? Xiaofei laughed secretly at this time. "I asked you, Qian Renxue, to come to me with the face of Xueqinghe, and see if you, a little angel for nothing, dare to come again in the future." Chapter 66 The Heart of the Strong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaofei went to Dean Hua Tianchen. "Dean, I know there is a place that is very suitable for cultivation and can quickly promote the growth of soul power, but there is a fatal danger there. I want to go with Huowu and Huowu for a while. I don't know if I should take other students with me." The dean smiled and said, "Xiaofei, your strength is unparalleled and invincible at the same level. Even Contra, almost no one can defeat you. However, you still don't have enough insights into the real way to attack. So, you go and discuss with Dean Yang Wudi in a few days, and you will understand everything." Xiaofei was a little speechless. Now it was a bit difficult to make a decision. Can that reckless man Yang Wudi understand this? With all kinds of doubts, Xiaofei came to Yang Wudi's alchemy. Yang Wudi was refining medicine and had no intention of paying attention to Xiaofei. Just like this, Xiaofei waited for 2 full hours before Yang Wudi finished his work. Yang Wudi smiled and said, "Classmate Xiaofei, why are you free to come to my place today?" Xiaofei quickly told Yang Wudi what he had said to Dean Hua, and also told Dean Hua's suggestions. Yang Wudi looked at Xiaofei carefully, then shook his body and said, "Let's go, come with me to the academy fighting arena." Arriving at the soul fighting arena, Xiaofei and Yang Wudi stood at both ends of the soul fighting arena. Yang Wudi said directly, "In this spirit fight, no matter life or death, use your full strength." Xiaofei's eyes couldn't help but widen, and he gritted his teeth and said, "Okay, no matter life or death, we will use our full strength." After saying that, Yang Wudi directly raised his gun and stabbed Xiaofei. Xiaofei instantly transformed into a phoenix and used his claws to resist. However, even if Yang Wudi had no soul skills, Xiaofei felt a tingling pain in his hands. The two of them then fought like this, with their soul skills flying all over the sky. Both of them had various wounds on their bodies. However, as he kept fighting, Yang Wudi seemed to become more and more courageous, and the sharpness of the soul-breaking gun became stronger and stronger. Xiaofei decisively used the God of Death domain. His eyes instantly turned red, and a white light spread throughout the space. Yang Wudi was obviously affected, and it seemed that his soul power and soul skills could not be fully exerted. However, Yang Wudi's momentum did not seem to be affected, and the attack became more intense. Yang Wudi gritted his teeth and instantly used his martial spirit true form. Xiaofei also used his martial spirit true form. However, although Xiaofei's fire phoenix was more powerful, it did not give Xiaofei any advantage in the battle. Fei was surprised for a while. In the end, the battle lasted for a full 3 hours. All the deans rushed to the scene, but they were only dispersing the crowd and did not interfere with the spirit battle. Both of them were lying on the ground, their souls exhausted and with numerous wounds on their bodies. The medical soul master immediately stepped forward to treat the two of them. Yang Wudi endured the pain and said to Xiaofei, "Xiaofei, I know you still have a lot of trump cards. Your overall soul power, combat experience, and martial soul quality are all better than mine, but I can beat you to a tie. If it is a life and death battle, I can even kill you. Of course, I will also be seriously injured. However, you lack a lot of things. For example, you lack the indomitable momentum, and you lack the heart of a king. I have also heard of the City of Killing, and I have even seen Tang Hao's God of Killing domain. You and Tang Hao it's still far behind. The strongest thing about Tang Hao is not his soul power or his great Sumera hammer, but his indomitable momentum. So, even if Tang Hao has just entered the realm of Tidal Douluo, he can still defeat 3 Tidal Douluo at the same time, including Qiang Sunji who has the spirit of Seraph. All of us Contras and Tidal Douluo present. No one I have so many opportunities like you, but to become a high-level soul master, I still don't lack the determination to move forward. You ask a few of them, who has not experienced countless life and death battles, and who has not faced countless escapes from death. Also, although you have the realm of the God of Killing, I can be sure that you are killing. The capital must have taken some tricks in the end, and with your mentality, I'm afraid you still can't do it. Yang Wudi insisted while coughing up blood. Everyone around them also nodded. Xiaofei also stood up with strength and bowed to Yang Wudi. All his thanks were silent. Wu ran over quickly and helped Xiaofei, her face covered with tears. Xiaofei shook his head and dragged his almost broken body back to the dormitory alone. Wu was a little surprised, and then looked at his grandfather. Dinhua thought for a while and said, "Let him calm down for a few days. Xiaofei should be quite shocked now." Then he said to the people around him, mainly the younger generation, you guys should also think about it seriously. Failure is not terrible. The most fearful thing is losing a strong heart. Xiaofei has been practicing too smoothly. There are too many opportunities, and it can even be said that there are too many calculations of gains and losses. However, it also makes his mentality a little bit incomprehensible. In fact, I have always planned to let Xiaofei lose. This time is a good opportunity for him. In the face of difficulties, even if the world falls apart, we must keep moving forward. Several young people also looked serious and bowed to Dinhua to express their gratitude. Xiaofei was lying on his bed, not using soul bones to treat his injuries, but thinking quietly. Xiaofei first thought about his life in Douluo Continent. From birth to now, it seems that he has not experienced any desperate situations, and has never challenged any unknown dangers. It seems that everything is following the original work, constantly seizing opportunities, and constantly working hard to practice. However, I have never really encountered failure, or I have not faced the possibility of failure, and all this is just Xiaofei's own calculations. Rather than strengthening his own heart, Xiaofei then began to review the original work. There were many things in the original work that Xiaofei had always sneered at in the past. Now it seems that this is correct. In the original work, Qin Ming always hoped that Tiandou Royal Academy would lose a game. In the past, he always thought that Qin Ming was a traitor who betrayed Tiandou Royal Academy. Now it seems that Qin Ming really has good intentions. In the original work, Xiao Wu seemed to be a tool rabbit, but it was Xiao Wu who gave Tang San endless pressure, and at the same time gave Tang San endless motivation and a determination to become stronger. So Tang San was able to fight against his level again and again, and make the impossible possible again and again. For example, when the Tiandou Palace was in chaos, Tang San faced Qian Renxue who crushed him in all aspects. Tang San himself did not retreat, but faced the challenge and finally surpassed himself and defeated Qian Renxue. If I were in Tang San's situation, I am afraid I would not even have the courage to challenge. Looking back at my situation in the Slaughter City, the external soul bones in the Slaughter City are like plugins. Tang San and Hulaina both have external soul bones, but they have basically never used them. They are the ones who truly rely on their bodies to win in battle after battle. When Xiaofei felt it was difficult to get through the road to hell, he decisively used his wings. As Yang Wudi said, he took advantage of the killing city, just as a sentence on the internet in the previous life: if you want to practice, you must first cultivate your mind. Only when you are strong in your heart, you can be truly strong and overcome the impossible. In the original work, the 3 extreme Douluos in Douluo Continent, Poseidon and Tiandou, all relied on the divine test to reach level 99, while Tang Chen relied on himself to reach level 99, so Tang Chen is stronger than Poseidon and Tiandou. So the Haotian sect is really the best in the world, and I am still far from being a strong man. Chapter 67 Immortal Grass. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaofei was injured this time and did not use his soul bone skills. Xiaofei feels that he wants to become stronger because he lacks failure, lacks oppression, and lacks bloody lessons. Moreover, Xiaofei remembered a sentence: if you don't rebirth in destruction, you will perish in destruction. Xiaofei lay on the bed and seriously experienced the changes in his body. He felt that the wound was gradually healing, and that under the influence of a trace of soul power, the blood seemed to be gradually flowing smoothly. In the past few days, Huowu moved directly to take care of Xiaofei, which surprised Xiaofei. Xiaofei's body fully recovered within 5 days. What is surprising is that as soon as Xiaofei recovered, he immediately challenged Vice Dean Niu Gao, and it was another battle. Niu Gao's defense seemed to make Xiaofei despair. Xiaofei tried every means to remove Niu Gao's defense, but in the end both sides suffered losses. Xiaofei was seriously injured again. In this way, Xiaofei has been recovering from injuries, challenges, serious injuries, and continuing to recover recently. Several deans have been challenged by him. The most difficult person to fight was actually Dean Lu Ruyan. Water and fire were originally restrained from each other, but Lu Ruyan obviously had a stronger understanding of water than Xiaofei, and he could also take advantage of the geographical advantage of the Tianshui system where water is everywhere, making Xiaofei miserable. Unspeakable, Dean Hua Tianchen was even more terrifying. The title Douluo's oppression far exceeded Xiaofei's soul power, and his almost perfect fire control made Xiaofei miserable. Fortunately, Huowu has been taking care of her recently, and her life is pretty good in all aspects. And because the two of them had more contact, and physical contact was unavoidable in the climate of being taken care of, the relationship between the two took a further step, and they basically had sex except for the last level. And Xiaofei's level has recently been raised to level 75, after challenging Dean Hua Tianchen many times in a row. Xiaofei's ability to control flames has obviously become stronger, and the two of them can often fight evenly. Presumably the Dean gave in. Xiaofei can be considered to have the fighting power of a title Douluo, and he doesn't know if he can beat Dugubo, the weakest title Douluo. At least escaping wouldn't be a problem. On this day, Xiaofei invited all the deans and several students to gather together in the dean's office. After everyone arrived, Xiaofei first expressed his gratitude to the deans for their recent teachings. The deans were more relaxed and looked pleased. Xiaofei then solemnly said to the deans, "Deans, I plan to go out for training recently. This experience may be quite fatal." Several deans instantly became serious. Dean Hua Tianchen said directly, "Xiaofei, we all know that you want to become stronger, but sometimes haste makes waste. It's not that the faster the soul power grows, the better. At your current speed, at most 10 years later, you will be able to enter the title Douluo." Xiaofei shook his head. 10 years is too long. Now there are rumors outside that Wuhuan Palace wants to re-establish 7 new sections. I guess this is just the beginning of Wuhuan Palace's actions. I plan to go this time. Although the place is dangerous, I am still relatively confident. Where do you plan to go to practice? Dean Hua said. Poseidon Island. I plan to go to Poseidon Island to practice. Xiaofei looked serious. Upon hearing that it was Poseidon Island, the expressions of several deans changed, especially Dean Lu Ruyan. Several young people looked puzzled. Dean Hua Tianchen introduced, "In our Douluo Continent, in addition to land, there are many places that are seas. The soul masters in the sea are sea soul masters, and the martial souls of sea soul masters are mainly from sea soul beasts. Similarly, when we land soul masters go to the sea area, our strength will be affected to some extent, especially our fire-type soul masters. Offshore to the west of the Tiandou Empire, there is an island called Poseidon Island. It is the holy land for all sea spirit masters. There they believe in Poseidon and regard themselves as the people of Poseidon. The Wuhuan Temple calls it Devil's Island. Back then, Wuhuan the palace sent 2,000 elite soul masters to try to recruit them, but in that battle, the Wuhuan palace was defeated and lost 2 title Douluo. That battle was the biggest defeat of the Wuhuan palace in the past century. Poseidon Island is indeed more dangerous, but if you pass the assessment there, your improvement will be huge." Xiaofei said seriously. Huowu and Huowushuang said directly, of course the two of us will go with you. The next person to express his stance was Feng Xiaotian. Since he stopped thinking about Huo Wu, he devoted himself to training, otherwise he would not have been able to reach level 20 in 5 years. Yang Pejuan and Niu Meng smiled and said, "Why do we need to do this kind of thing without two people?" Yang Pejuan and Niu Meng were on offense and defense, but they had a very good relationship. Xiaofei turned around and looked at the deans. None of them seemed to care about the danger of a few people, even if Yang Pejuan and Niu Meng were their grandsons. Yang Wudi said directly, "Xiaofei, you have never experienced the cruelty and fighting of our generation. If the two of them go to experience this time, if they die, we have nothing to say. If the two of them are in any way cowardly, then I absolutely can't forgive." Niu Gao also expressed the same attitude. Seeing the attitudes of the deans, Xiaofei also sighed, and then took out 4 jade boxes from the phoenix ring. "These are my last collection. Now I only have some snow silkworms, cinnabar lotus and the like." Yang Wudi, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang were speechless for a while. Xiaofei, the old man, actually transferred the things to the phoenix ring in advance. Yang Wudi was even more speechless. Shuekan and cinnabar lotus were actually the worst things about Xiaofei. It's really annoying to compare people to each other. In fact, Xiaofei now has a storage belt, and put all the immortal herbs into the belt. In the armband, only some tonic herbs and some more expensive things are placed. Of course, there is also the 2,000-year-old fire ant right arm soul bone in front, but it is too bad and Xiaofei really doesn't like it. Yang Wudi grabbed the 4 jade boxes. Even if they are not for himself, it's okay to use them to satisfy his eyes. Yang Wudi opened the first jade box first, and a chill instantly filled the whole room. Yang Wudi said, "Ice Crystal Phoenix Sunflower, from Shui Binger, is estimated to increase the level by 4 to 5, and can purify your Ice Phoenix martial soul. It is a treasure for Ice-type soul masters." Yang Wudi opened the second jade box, and a sharp aura surged out. 9-leaf sword grass, from Yang Pejuan, suitable for people with sword martial souls. The treasure of sword martial souls, the effect of the soul-breaking spear martial soul is similar. It can improve the Genjin attribute of the martial soul, and the soul power is estimated to increase by 5 levels. If the sword Douluo of the 7 Treasures Glazed sect can get it, it may be expected to reach level 98. Yang Wudi opened the third jade box, and a turbidity of earth attribute flowed out. Dragon Elephant Flower, from Niu Meng, is a treasure for earth-attributed and power-type soul masters, and a treasure for strong attack and defense types. All are applicable. Legend has it that the Dragon Elephant Flower is formed by the blood of the ancient dragon elephant. It is said that after taking it, one can have the power of the ancient dragon elephant, and the soul power is estimated to be increased by 4 levels, and the martial soul may also evolve into the ancient dragon elephant. Yang Wudi opened the 4th jade box, and a strong breath flew out. Longgang Flower, Feng Xiaotian, has a similar effect to Qirong Tong Tianju, but it has some dragon attributes and can be used to refine the indestructible body. You are already above level 60, and the fairy grass is estimated to improve your physique and potential more, estimated to increase by 3 to 4 levels. Shui Binger and the other 4 happily took their own fairy grass, and Xiaofei breathed a sigh of relief, finally letting go of one thing. Xiaofei suddenly felt something was wrong, and when he looked up, everyone's eyes fell on Xiaofei, and Xiaofei was immediately horrified. "It's over, I was finally targeted," Xiaofei said quickly. "Deans, I really have nothing left." Yang Wudi showed a sly smile. "Xiaofei, how do you think I treat you?" "I have also taught you recently," Xiaofei said tremblingly. "Dean Yang, didn't I give you the Youxiang Qilua Xian pin? That thing belongs to the college. Now I am in charge of the internal medicine refining work of the college, and it should be in charge of me. I am talking about my compensation now, compensation for my recent training and education for you." Yang Wudi said as a matter of course. The other 3 deans also had similar expressions, meaning that they would teach themselves a lesson if they didn't give. Xiaofei kept complaining in his heart, "Good you Yang Wudi, look at you with thick eyebrows and big eyes, you are so good at playing. Do you still remember how you looked when you first got the Youxiang Qilua Xian pin?" Others looked at Wang Xiaofei with a gloating look. Chapter 68 Everyone's Improvement. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiaofei looked at the expressions of the crowd and knew that he could not escape. He took out 4 more jade boxes from his armband and showed a look of despair. Yang Wudi opened the jade boxes one by one again. The 10,000-year-old Chinese yam belongs to Lao Liu. The 10,000-year-old ginseng king belongs to me. The 10,000-year-old narcissus belongs to Dean Lu. The 10,000-year-old fairy belongs to Dean Feng. Everyone looked at the 4 jade boxes and kept complaining. The medicinal materials are all 10,000 years old, and it is estimated that they can't be seen outside. Everyone looked at Xiaofei. Where did these come from? Everyone had a question mark in their eyes. Xiaofei spread his hands. No, I have nothing. Huo Wu lifted Xiaofei's ear and said, where are mine? Why are mine missing? Xiaofei shook his head. I've given you and Huo Wushuang the best. I guess the others won't have much effect on you too. Huo Wu looked at Xiaofei with a threatening look on her face. Then why did I hear that you still have some snow silkworms and cinnabar lotuses? Xiaofei was speechless. Can't you leave some for me? I have nothing, Huo Wu said seriously. Why do you still keep these on you? Are you going to please some girl? Hand them over quickly. Everyone looked at Xiaofei with a playful look on their faces. Xiaofei took out 2 jade boxes from his armband again with a helpless look on his face. Yang Wudi opened the jade box again. Everyone complained again. These cinnabar lotuses and snow silkworms are dozens of times larger than those on the market, and they are almost spirits. Huo Wu quickly took away the snow silkworms, and Huo Wushuang took away the cinnabar lotus. Xiaofei collapsed on the chair, speechless. Yang Wudi suddenly walked up to Xiaofei and said, Xiaofei, I heard that you still have a lot of poisonous weeds. Would you like me to help you check them? Otherwise, you might accidentally poison your own people one day. Xiaofei immediately stood up and yelled at Yang Wudi, you old man, you took the lead in extorting all the good things from me, and now you don't even let go of the remaining poisonous weeds. Do you believe that I will fight you? That even though Yang Wudi was thick-skinned, he couldn't help blushing a little. Everyone looked at Xiaofei's expression and estimated that Xiaofei didn't have anything left. Everyone looked at Yang Wudi with contempt, which made Yang Wudi speechless. Yang Wudi suddenly said, you can't tell anyone about what happened today, even your closest relatives. Whoever tells others is my enemy. Yang Wudi changed his thick-skinned look and showed murderous intent. The rest of the people expressed their opinions one after another. Yang Wudi said in a deep voice, you may not know the value of the immortal herbs just now, but I tell you, the immortal herbs you 4 kids took, as long as they are taken by people with innate soul power above level 7, can basically create a tidal Douluo. The other immortal herbs are worth millions or even more than 10 million gold soul coins. Then everyone understood how valuable the things Xiaofei gave were. They all promised not to reveal it. Next, everyone took the immortal herbs under the guidance of Yang Wudi, and Dean Hua Tianxian protected everyone. Xiaofei returned to his dormitory, and on the way he changed his previous decadence, secretly saying, fortunately, I was prepared early, otherwise I would have been exploited by you. But as soon as Xiaofei entered the door, someone came to knock on the door. When he opened the door, it turned out to be Huo Wu. Huo Wu said with a bit of guilt, Xiaofei, I'm really sorry today. I didn't know these things were so valuable. I know I was wrong now. You know you were wrong. Then compensate me. After that, Xiaofei quickly carried Huo Wu into the bedroom, and then bullied Huo Wu, and the two finally broke through the last level. The next morning, Xiaofei woke up early. Looking at Huo Wu sleeping in his arms, Xiaofei couldn't help but think of the madness of last night. Xiaofei couldn't help but touch Huo Wu's fiery red hair, thinking back to his 2 lives, and he didn't get rid of the fate of being single until now, and couldn't help but sigh. Huo Wu seemed more beautiful and more attractive. Compared with the previous arrogance and beauty, she seemed to have a little more charm now. Huo Wu in his arms slowly woke up and turned to look at Xiaofei. Huo Wu seemed to be stimulated by something. Suddenly screamed, you bastard, what did you do to me yesterday? Then the two quarreled, and the whole room was in chaos. Xiaofei thought to himself, this woman is so tough. If she doesn't establish her authority and confirm her family status now, she will be in big trouble in the future. Xiaofei went into battle without saying anything. The two of them had another big fight, but this time it was Xiaofei who was the loser. Finally, Wu put on her clothes and left the room. Before leaving, she did not forget to warn Xiaofei, "Xiaofei, you'd better forget what happened yesterday, otherwise, hee." Xiaofei nodded hurriedly. Xiaofei rested for a while and came back to the dean's office. Unexpectedly, several people were still there. Shui Binger, Feng Xiaotian, Yang Pejuan, and Niu Meng, the four of them were still practicing there. Xiaofei quickly asked Yang Wudi, who had already woken up, "Dean Yang, it shouldn't take that long for them to absorb a fairy grass, right? Why are they still absorbing it?" Yang Wudi shook his head. "Everyone absorbed the fairy grass last night, and now they are taking the opportunity to stabilize their realm and consolidate their soul power." Yang Wudi continued, "Thanks to your fairy grass, Shui Binger has reached level 60, and Yang Pejuan and Niu Meng are also level 50. Now they are only one spirit ring short, and we plan to take the three of them out to get the spirit ring." Xiaofei nodded, thinking of something, and quickly asked, "How are the four deans?" Yang Wudi asked with a playful look, "Didn't you carefully select the things for the four of us?" "Why? Don't you know the effect? Tell me, why did you choose these things for us?" Xiaofei thought for a while and said, "You four are not young anymore, and you have all reached the soul Douluo level. Whether it is the martial soul or the meridians or bones in the body, they have basically been completely formed, or have reached the extreme. So I simply gave you the fairy grass suitable for your individual attributes. In fact, the ones I gave you should not be considered fairy grass, but only tonic medicine." Yang Wudi nodded. "This can only be considered a peerless tonic, and there is still a little difference from the fairy grass. The fairy grass taken by Shui Binger and the other four actually has an effect on us, but the effect is probably not that obvious. Shui Binger, Yang Pejuan, and Niu Mengren have upgraded their martial souls, and Feng Xiaotian's martial soul has only a strengthened effect. If nothing unexpected happens, within 5 years, the four of us should be able to reach the title Douluo level." Yang Wudi continued. Xiaofei looked at Yang Wudi with a puzzled look. "Dean Yang, I remember you seem to be only level 82. Soul Douluo level increases by nearly 2 levels every year, which is quite difficult for Yang Wudi and his age." Yang Wudi snorted coldly. "What do you know? Because of my long-term medicine refining, I have absorbed the breath of countless medicinal materials, almost all of which have been integrated into my blood. That's why my soul power has been slow in recent years. Now I have both the Yoxiang Qilua fairy product and the 10,000 years ginseng king. The blood and qi can probably be restored to the peak or even stronger. It's no problem to improve the soul power by 2 levels every year. However, you kid has eaten so many fairy herbs, there won't be any problems in the future, right?" Xiaofei said with a smile. "Dean Yang, have you forgotten what my martial soul is?" Yang Wudi pondered for a while. "Yes, you kid thinks far ahead. First, ice and fire body refining to improve. I will use the Qirong Tongtianju to improve your physical strength, and then use the Qirong Tongtianju to make your meridians unblocked, and finally use the Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower to purify the phoenix blood and flame in your body. You are almost close to the pure fire phoenix blood in your body. The fire phoenix is said to be able to burn everything, so it is naturally not afraid of mere toxins." Yang Wudi couldn't help but admire. "Now your body is not only indestructible, water and fire, but also has the terrifying recovery ability of the fire phoenix. No wonder you recover so quickly every time you get injured. By the way, what is that thing in your dantian? Such a good thing, why don't you tell us?" Yang Wudi asked in confusion. Xiaofei shook his head. "This thing is called a soul core, which condenses the soul power of the whole body into a round core-shaped thing. This thing requires too much mental power. I also have a 60,000-year-old head soul bone. It took me several months to complete it, and my body almost had problems several times. If you rashly experiment, you may explode and die." Xiaofei couldn't help but admire Yang Wudi's research on the human body. Chapter 69, Surprise. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After a while, everyone finished practicing, and it was obvious that everyone had made great progress, especially the 4 students, especially Shui Binger. Shui Binger is the former captain of Tianshui Academy, the martial soul Ice Phoenix. Like Ma Hongjun and Xiaofei, Ice Phoenix is not pure, but has impurities. This impurity has been plaguing Shui Binger's practice and will have an effect similar to evil fire. This time Xiaofei gave him the Ice Crystal Phoenix Sunflower. The impurities in Shui Binger's body were completely refined, and her martial soul became a real Ice Phoenix. Her future cultivation will not be affected again. Once the problems that had troubled Shui Binger for many years were solved, Shui Binger changed her past image of a reserved and caring young lady. She was so excited that she hugged Xiaofei and kissed Xiaofei on the face. Seeing Shui Binger's performance, everyone was very surprised. Shui Binger also noticed the gazes of the people around her, and let go of Xiaofei with a slight blush. Xiaofei was in a happy mood at this time. He didn't expect that after giving away the Ice Crystal Phoenix Sunflower, he would get such an unexpected joy. If he had known it, he should have given it to Shui Binger earlier. Ahem. Suddenly Hua Tianqian coughed twice, which instantly brought Xiaofei's attention back. Xiaofei's face suddenly changed and he said to himself, "It's troublesome, I was caught by my father-in-law." Xiaofei said seriously, "I just came here and wanted to know about everyone's improvement and changes." No one thought anything. After all, everyone was very excited now. Then everyone began to introduce their progress. First of all, Shui Binger introduced as if nothing happened just now, "My soul power has now been raised to level 60. My martial soul has completely evolved into an Ice Phoenix. The magazines on my martial soul have also been completely removed. In the future, the cultivation speed should become faster." Then Niumeng said, "My soul power has reached level 50 now. My martial soul has evolved. Now I seem to have turned into an ancient dragon rhinoceros. I have endless strength in my body and my defense has been greatly enhanced." Xiaofei couldn't help but complain in his heart, "Are there creatures like the ancient dragon rhinoceros in Douluo Continent?" Yang Pejuan also said, "My soul power has now reached level 50, and I feel that the soul-breaking gun has become sharper. I feel like I have a better grasp of the soul-breaking gun. My body seems to be full of sharp energy. With such aura, you can now use the soul-breaking gun to appear on something similar to a blade." After saying that, Yang Pejuan also summoned his martial spirit and used several soul-breaking spear techniques. Yang Wudi stepped forward and took a closer look at Yang Pejuan's soul-breaking gun, then nodded and said, "The martial soul has indeed evolved. It should be that the Genjin energy in the martial soul has become stronger, thus making the soul-breaking gun more powerful. Sharper." Feng Xiaotian thought for a moment before saying, "I think my soul power has improved by 4 levels. I am now level 65. My martial soul has not evolved, but I feel that my physical fitness, quality and even the quality of my martial soul have improved. Becoming stronger." Yang Wudi nodded and said, "After all, you are already level 60, your martial spirit has taken shape, and after all, this is not a wind attribute fairy. This dragon gang flower should be able to make the meridians in your body smoother, and it has some dragon attributes. You can develop a Tiangang physique similar to that of Vitra." After Yang Wudi finished speaking, he also said to Xiaofei, "Xiaofei, you chose this for Feng Xiaotian because there is no fairy grass with wind attribute, right?" Xiaofei nodded. "Actually, the real elemental attributes are metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The wind attribute cannot be considered a complete elemental attribute. Moreover, plants with wind attributes will be more difficult to grow. This dragon gang flower can only improve your physical fitness and the strength of the martial soul cannot make the martial soul evolve, but your training speed should be faster in the future, and there should be no bottleneck before becoming a title Douluo." Yang Wudi nodded. Wind-attributed beast souls are the most difficult to evolve. Unless Xiaofei has wind-attributed fairy grass or top-level dragon-attributed fairy grass, it is unlikely that the Gale two-headed wolf spirit will evolve. Xiaofei was also helpless. Feng Xiaotian's Gale two-headed wolf could only be regarded as a high-level beast martial spirit. It would be useful if Xiaofei still had 9th grade Dragon G in his hand. The problem is that Xiaofei no longer has it. Xiaofei asked curiously, "Deans, what are your changes now?" At this time, Feng Xian said, "The soul power of each of the 4 of us has increased by 2 levels on average, and according to the effect, we should not have any bottlenecks before being titled Douluo." Xiaofei then nodded with peace of mind. Based on the training time of the 4 deans, he estimated that he would be able to break through to the title Douluo before the war in 5 years, and should be able to handle it by then. Xiaofei said to everyone, "How many deans? Could you please arrange for Shui Binger, Yang Pejuan, and Niu Meng to obtain soul rings? The 3 of them have greatly improved their physical fitness now, and they should be able to absorb soul rings that exceed the limit. That is to say, Yang Pejuan and Niu Meng, you can absorb soul rings that are 12,000 to 13,000 years old, while Sister Shui Binger can absorb soul rings that are about 20,000 years old, and can even reach 22,000 years old. Try to choose soul rings suitable for you and of high quality and longevity." Xiaofei then said, "I want to go to Tiandou City alone in about 2 months. We have agreed to leave from the Elements Academy to Poseidon Island in 3 months. Also, you guys had better follow the same rules as before. The Academy's approach involves a lot of physical exercise, especially weight-bearing rock climbing and gravity training." Everyone nodded. As for what Xiaofei was going to Tiandou City for, none of them asked. Xiaofei returned to the dormitory and continued to practice his soul power. Recently, apart from practicing his soul power and fighting, Xiaofei had basically not done any other training. Suddenly, the door of Xiaofei's dormitory rang. I thought it was Huo Wu, but when he opened the door, it was Shui Binger. Xiaofei looks confused. Xiaofei invited Shui Binger into the living room of the dormitory, and the 2 sat down. Xiaofei made a cup of tea with snow ginseng and gave it to Shui Binger. Shui Binger took an elegant sip and couldn't help but praise, "Good tea." Xiaofei asked with some confusion, "Sister Shui Binger, I wonder why you have time to come to my place today." "What's the matter?" Shui Binger smiled and said, "Brother Xiaofei, if nothing happens, can't I come and sit with you?" Xiaofei said quickly, "Of course, Sister Shui Binger, you can come to me at any time." Shui Binger smiled, "Brother Xiaofei, don't be so outspoken. From now on, just call me Sister Binger." Xiaofei smiled, "Okay, Sister Binger, then don't call me Xiaofei brother, just call me Xiaofei." Shui Binger said, "Xiaofei, can you let me see your martial spirit?" Xiaofei had a puzzled expression on his face, but he still summoned the Fire Phoenix spirit. After Xiaofei summoned the Fire Phoenix spirit, he always felt that there was something about Shui Binger that attracted him. This feeling became even clearer when Shui Binger summoned her martial soul Ice Phoenix. Yes, it was Shui Binger's Ice Phoenix spirit that attracted him. Shui Binger withdrew her martial spirit and said, "Sure enough, your Fire Phoenix martial spirit will attract the Ice Phoenix martial spirit. I believe you should also feel this way." Xiaofei also nodded. It is not uncommon for martial souls to be connected on the Douluo Continent. Just like the evil-eyed white tiger of the Dai family of Silla and the ghost civet cat of the Zhu family, they attract each other and come together to eventually form the ghost white tiger, a martial soul fusion technique. Moreover, people with 2 kinds of martial arts will have better results if they practice together. Shui Binger said with a serious look, "Xiaofei, let's interact more and practice together in the future. I believe it won't be long before we can perfect the martial soul fusion technique." Xiaofei nodded quickly, "Sister Binger, then you can come to our place often and we can practice together." Tianshui College is a women's college and will not allow Xiaofei to practice at Shui Binger. Shui Binger nodded and left gracefully. As soon as Shui Binger left, Xiaofei showed a happy expression on his face. Such a good thing would happen if he gave away the Ice Crystal Phoenix Sunflower. Is this really an unexpected surprise? You know, on Douluo Continent, martial soul fusion skills are generally formed between husband and wife or relatives, because using martial soul fusion skills requires a good understanding of the other party's body and martial soul. Moreover, martial soul fusion skills are often extremely powerful and have the ability to fight across levels. Chapter 70 Tiandou City. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After sending Shui Binger away, Xiaofei had no intention of continuing to practice, so he simply packed up and prepared to go to Tiandou City. As a result, the door was knocked again. When he opened the door, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang came. Huo Wu said directly, "Xiao Fizi, why didn't you call us too when you went to Tiandou City? Do you want to do something bad?" Xiaofei said seriously, "I do have some serious business to deal with when I go to Tiandou City this time. I went alone for convenience. The various forces in Tiandou City are complicated. If you two go with me, it will easily attract other people. Troublesome." Finally, with Xiaofei's repeated persuasion and assurance, Huo Wu and Huo Wushuang left Xiaofei's dormitory angrily. Early the next morning, Xiaofei left the Elements Academy alone. Xiaofei did not rent a carriage this time, but walked directly to Tiandou City. Considering Xiaofei's current cultivation level, walking was faster than a carriage. Moreover, Xiaofei is still carrying weights. This time when he went out, Xiaofei was carrying a 1,000 kilogram weight for rock climbing. The wrist guards on Xiaofei's hands and feet were all remade from deep-sea immersed silver, weighing 100 kilograms each. Xiaofei now carries a total weight of 1,400 kilograms. In fact, the weights on Xiaofei's body are basically always attached to his body. Except when he is hunting souls or fighting souls, Xiaofei has weights on his body. After 5 days of traveling, Xiaofei finally arrived at Tiandou City. Looking at the bustling crowd inside and outside Tiandou City, Xiaofei analyzed that the palace change in Tiandou City should not have started to happen yet. I just don't know if it will happen again. Anyway, Xiaofei had no intention of participating, so he would most likely fish in troubled waters. Xiaofei directly found a restaurant and ordered a table of dishes in the lobby. After driving for 5 days in a row, I didn't stop to eat anything. I wanted to satisfy my craving first. As for why he didn't choose a private room, it was mainly because Xiaofei wanted to hear what big things were happening around him. Xiaofei was disappointed that everyone seemed to be talking about trivial matters. Just when Xiaofei was disappointed, a group of young people came to the door, walking in a domineering manner. After entering the hotel, he said directly to the waiter, "Waiter, take us to the largest private room immediately." The waiter quickly led the way to the young people in a flirtatious manner. And the people in front quickly got out of the way, fearing that they would not be able to get away. Xiaofei took a closer look and felt a little happy for a moment. "Isn't this Prince Xuebang?" Xiaofei shook his head. He didn't know if Prince Xuebang was a real dandy or just pretending to be a dandy. In short, Xiaofei looked down on him. No matter if you are a real dude or not, the person you bully or hurt is always real. As long as Xuebang doesn't mess with him, he won't bother to care about him. I found a hotel to rest for the night and changed into clean clothes. Early the next morning, Xiaofei came to Shrek Academy. Looking at the tall gate of Shrek Academy and the students coming in and out, Xiaofei smiled. It is indeed Shrek Academy. Although they only got 3rd place, their reputation has been hyped up. It is probably the largest academy in Tiandou City now, and the Tiandou Royal Academy probably doesn't even have that many people. Xiaofei walked towards the guard and said directly, "Hello, I am Wang Xiaofei from the Academy of Elements. I would like to visit the Master Yu Xiaogang." The guard looked at Xiaofei's attire and saw that he was obviously a soul master. Moreover, the Academy of Elements is now the #1 academy in the Tiandou Empire, and no one should dare to pretend to be one. After a while, some students brought Xiaofei to the dean's office. Flanders, Yu Xiaogang, and Lu Erlong are all in the office. Xiaofei saluted the 3 of them, Dean Flender, Dean Yu Xiaogang, and Dean Lu Erlong. The 3 deans have run Shrek Academy very well. I see that Shrek Academy is prosperous and full of talents. Congratulations to the 3 deans. Flanders smiled and said, "Everyone is good." Now the Elements Academy is the #1 academy in the Tiandou Empire. It can be seen that Flanders is really happy. After all, He has been running the academy for decades and has finally made some achievements. The conditions of Yu Xiaogang and Lu Erlong were obviously much better than the last time they met. The four of them exchanged greetings and encouraged each other for a while, and Yu Xiaogang asked in confusion, "Classmate Xiaofei, why did you come to Tiandou City this time?" After all, everyone in the world basically knows that Wang Xiaofei is a cultivator, and there are no special circumstances. He basically never leaves the academy and never participates in anyone's social activities. Xiaofei smiled and said, "I came to Tiandou City mainly to meet a few friends and do some small things." "By the way, master, do you know where Tang San is now?" The master asked seriously. "Xiaofei, do you have anything to do with mistress?" "I saw a person in one place. That person looked like Tang San, but his face and hair seemed to have changed. I wanted to confirm Tang San's safety. After all, we have been classmates for many years." The master thought for a while and said, "I don't know where Xiao San has been recently. How about you communicate with some outstanding students from Shrek first? I will also go to his friends to confirm." Xiaofei nodded and said, "I'll also take a look at Shrek's outstanding students first." After a while, in the original book, all 5 of the Shrek's 7 monsters were actually there, except for Tang San and Xiao Wu. The next step is for Dai Mubai to lead the team and take Xiaofei to visit Shrek Academy. Black Academy deserves the financial support from the Tiandou Empire and is established in the capital area. This makes Shrek very good in terms of the number of personnel, the quality of the personnel, and even the infrastructure. It can be said that it is now considered a very excellent high-level Soul Master Academy. Dai Mubai originally wanted to invite Xiaofei to fight the soul together, but after hearing that Xiaofei had become a soul saint, he didn't mention it again. But the little cat Zhu Zhuqing asked Xiaofei directly, "Xiaobai, can you tell me why you are so strong?" Xiaofei looked at Zhu Zhuqing and thought to himself, "She is indeed the dream lover of countless people, and her figure is really exaggerated." Xiaofei thought for a while and said, "Maybe I have always wanted to become stronger, and I have been thinking about how to become stronger and put it into action." Looking at the confused expressions on everyone's faces, Xiaofei continued, "When I first started practicing, I also encountered evil fire. At that time, I used constant exercise to numb myself. No matter how serious the evil fire was, I did not vent it. At that time, I studied and exercised during the day, and meditated in the blacksmith shop at night, because I felt that the fire element there was suitable for my practice. After graduating from the 5th grade, I stayed in the nest of the flame bird where I obtained the 2nd soul ring for almost a year, because it was close to the flame mountain, and there was also a soul beast, the fire lizard, which was very good to me. You should be familiar with gravity pressure training and weighted rock climbing. In fact, these were all proposed by me. Also, every soul ring I absorbed was actually absorbed beyond the limit. The first soul ring was 600 years, the second soul ring was 900 years, the third soul ring was more than 3,000 years, and the fourth soul ring was more than 7,000 years. Of course, all this is because I have a strong physique. Also, except when hunting soul beasts, I always have more than 500 kilograms of weight on my body. It can be said that becoming stronger has become a habit of mine. After listening to Xiaofei's words, everyone felt very shocked. Is this what made this monster?